Tetris, yes, I'm back out again. We're back out on permission number 3. It is the 25th of September. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. Got here nice and early. I wanted to come up to permission number 3 to try out a new spade. Actually, I bought a Gladius, Blackadder Gladius in black because I was expecting the very hard summer stubble fields, and I wanted to. I've been promising myself one of these foot peg spades for some time, and I finally got one. But in actual fact, as you can see behind me, the field, one of my favourite fields up here, has been subsoiled or cultivated, what I call deep raked. So we're going to give it a go on that today. Probably stay on that field most of today. I might try one of the other stubble fields with my new spade, but at the moment I'm going to use my usual spade, the one I use all the time, because I got the Gladius really just for the concrete type summer conditions, because I keep chewing through the bottoms of my welly boots when the ground is really hard. So, but we'll see how we get on up here today. I did go out last weekend. I went back to permission number 2. I had a few finds. I went on those 2 fields that the farmer was talking about that I mentioned at the end of one of my last videos. But I'll show you those finds first from last weekend. And then we'll come back to permission number 3 here today, and we'll see what we get here. So I'm looking forward to going on to this field, because like I say, it's all been broken up. I had a few Roman finds on here and some other nice finds as well, so we'll give it a go. It's a lovely morning, and we'll see what we find. Bye for now. As you can see, the farmer's dogs have decided to join me. They always used to when I came on to permission number 2, because I am on the main farm here. And there was at least one of them used to like to follow me around. Oh, it looks like I got 2 today. Anyway, we'll carry on. Here we go, folks. We've got our first target, and it looks interesting. It's I had somebody recently asking me to do if I would tell you more often the target figures on the display from when I get coins. I think this can't remember who it was now, to be honest. I'm sorry about that, but I think they were talking more about the Georgian coins at the time. But I can see what this is. As you can see, the farmer's dog is still with me. Now you can see where it's come from, just down there, and here it is. Look, this is a tiny little clod of dirt, and it is a tiny little, I think, little hammered coin. So this must be a little farthing. Now this gave me quite easily, actually, gave me about 61 on the display, this tiny little one. Now we'll see what this is, if I can get it out. There we go. That you can see it's stuck firmly in the dirt there. How about that? The impression in the dirt. Yeah, It's a tiny, tiny little farthing hammered. Lovely. That's brilliant. I'll just give this a tiny little bit of water just to get that dried dirt off. Yes, there we go. Look, the detail on there, that's absolutely lovely. Now, I should imagine that that is a little Edward, I would have thought. Brilliant. The detail on there for a little farthing. There's the other side, look. Now I don't know if this is just misstruck or whether that has actually been clipped around the edge. It looks like it might have been. But the detail on there. I am in one of the spots on this particular field on permission number 2 where I've had some nice finds in the past, but there is only one small area where I was getting them before. I'm right on that area now, but I wanted to go a bit more widespread on this field. Lovely. Anyway, let's carry on. That's my first find. Bye for now. Right then folks, I want to do a live dig here because this has given me a really good signal. It must be near the surface. It's given me 89 on the display, so it must be a bit of lead because this field is so quiet. You don't get signals like this. So I'm going to give it a go. It's quite a small target. We'll see what it is anyway. Like I say, it must be near the surface. Yeah, it's out already. I thought it would be. What's it going to be? Nothing big at the moment. It looks like a coin. I wonder if it's Roman. It's a very squashed coin. It looks like a Georgian halfpenny, but it's very, very squashed. It's unusual because it's the first one, I think, coin like this I found on this field. Yes, there we go. Look, like I say, it looks like a Georgian coin, but it's very, 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 very thin. Whether it's just had a hard life and it's been through a bit of machinery or what, I don't know, probably. But like I say, I don't get many coins like this off this field. This field is I always used to say was my nemesis field. Always very, very quiet. When you get a find, it's usually something quite nice. So and I think that's probably the first Georgian looking coin I've had off of here. Anyway, we'll carry on. but that gave me about 89. Here we go, folks. I just had another find. Now, as you can see, I've come onto another field, and again, this is a stubble field, but this, whatever the crop was in here, it's different to the stubble that was on permission number 3. So I don't know whether this was a completely different sort of crop, but it doesn't feel like wheat stubble or barley stubble. But anyway, it's quite easy to swing the coil through, so I've come onto here because that previous field was just really quiet. But I've just had a find here, as you can see the hole, and I'm quite impressed because it was a good 8 inches deep, almost the depth of the pinpointer, and it's a tiny little buckle. So that's quite nice. I'm pleased I found that at that depth. I've turned everything up to what I normally would have it on here on permission number 2, sorry. Get so used to going to permission number 3. I'm on 26.6 kilohertz frequency. I've turned the sensitivity up higher than I normally have it. I've got it up on 96 at the moment, and the discrimination I've got on 5.0. I normally have it on about 5.5, so not much of a difference, but I've just turned it up very slightly, and I can get close to the ground on this field, so I just had that. Anyway, we'll carry on. Here we go, folks. We just had another find, and it's a little pocket watch winder. Hadn't had one of these for a while, but that's what that is. Sometimes they would be a bit bigger than this with like a crank type handle on the end, and sometimes there would be just small ones like this. Anyway, we'll see what the next one is. I don't know whether you saw that or not, but Farmer's dog just spotted a deer and was chasing after it across the field there. But I'm afraid Farmer's dog is nowhere near fast enough. Luckily for the deer. Here we go, folks. We've got our next target, and it's another little buckle. This one looks quite old. It gave me about 65, I think it was, on the display. Anyway, we'll carry on. Bye for now. Here we go, folks, we just had our first find here on permission number 3, and it is a coin. I should imagine it's some kind of Georgian halfpenny. Let me just give it a little bit of water and we'll see if we can't see any details on it. I don't think we will, because it's quite worn by the look of it. But that's our first find here on permission number 3 today. Anyway, I'll be back in a moment. Yeah, there we go. I've given it a little bit of water. I can see some detail on the back there, but I'm not sure which one this one is. I'm guessing some kind of Georgian halfpenny. Anyway, that's find number 1. We'll carry on. Bye for now. Here we go, folks, we've got our next find, and this is quite interesting. It looks like I've got a thimble, but this one hasn't got any dots on it. It's got no perforations, well, not perforations, but it's got no dots on it like you would imagine seeing on a thimble. It just looks smooth. Also, I've got a funny feeling that this is silver as well. It looks very much like a dirty hammered coin, if you know what I mean. There's a bit of silver coming through there in the middle there. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. So I think this is actually silver, and it's a smooth thimble. Is the only thing I can guess that probably is. Maybe it was made and they didn't bother putting all the dots on it because they wanted some kind of finger protection. But that's our next find. We'll carry on. Interesting. I've never found anything like that before. But it does look silver to me. But anyway, we'll see what the next one is. Bye for now. Here we go, folks. We just had a nice little find down here. You can see where it's come from there, just in front of my spade, this side of it. And it's that, look, a nice little, what's left of a little Roman fibula. That's lovely. It's really small, this one. I mean, it would have hooked around a little bit further, but that's got to be the smallest one I've ever found. Obviously it would have been bigger when it was intact in one piece, but you can tell just by what's left that it wouldn't have been a very big fibula. Let me just give it a little bit of water and I'll come straight back to you. That's brilliant. Yes, here we go, folks. Look, I've only just given it a very, very little bit of water, but look, you can see decoration on the back of that. It's still decorated. If I zoom in a little bit, it's like a sort of a fishbone design on the back of it. That's lovely. Now that gave me the slightest of signals. I was only about 50, 45, 50. And I thought, oh, it's going to be a shotgun cartridge cap, but I'll dig it anyway. Then I lost it. Then I managed to find it again. How about that? Lovely. Anyway, let's carry on. You know, as you probably can tell, I have come onto a different field now. I tried that field where I started, and I had the Georgian halfpenny and that smooth thimble looking object. I had a couple of buttons on there, but it was very quiet. It's the old dry field syndrome. But this one has been, this field I'm on now, where I've just found this little fibula, it has been ploughed. I can tell it's been ploughed by the edges, and it has been rolled, and I think that's what's making the difference. I'm getting a few targets on here. It's a lot easier to detect, if you know what I mean. And yeah, we'll see. We'll carry on here for now, because that other field was quite quiet. Anyway, let's see what comes up next. Here we go, folks. We've got our next find, and it is what I assume to be a coin in the clod there. Look, I don't think it's a very old one. I can tell that by the edge of it. It looks probably Edwardian to me. That's be my guess, but let's get it out and see. There we go. Looks like it's a penny coin. It's Britannia on the back. Just let me give it a little bit of water. Here we go. Yep, I was right. Edwardus 5th, 6th, 7th. Edward the 7th. Still nice to find. Gets the detector bleeping. $1908. I can see on the back of that. Anyway, let's carry on. Bye for now. Hello folks, just had another find, and it's nothing that special, but I thought I'd show it. I had a few of these off of permission number 1. It's the first one I found here on permission number 3, so that's why I thought I'd show it. But that is, it's not lead, it's pewter, I believe, and that is, I think, is the knob off the top of a tobacco box lid. That's what I think that is. It looks like it was slightly decorated or something at one point, but obviously it's been bashed around in the field now. But I think that's what that is. Anyway, let's carry on. Here we go, folks. We've got our next find, and it is a buckle fragment. But look at that. That's quite nicely decorated. I think it's pewter. You can see where the pin would have gone across the centre of the buckle, so this would have been quite big. It's lovely. What it was a buckle on, I don't know. It seems a bit big for a shoe buckle, but maybe it was. It might have been a big pewter shoe buckle. But yet again, a shame it's not complete, but this wouldn't last long in the field. Anyway, we'll carry on. Now then, folks, I don't know if you can see it, but I've just had a signal down here. Gave me a really good strong signal. I think it was about, it's about 82, I think, 81, 82, something like that before it came out of the ground. I don't know if you can see it, but just there at the end of my finger, there's a silver coin. Lovely. I'm going to go down and get it. I know it's not a hammered coin. I can tell that because I have had a look at it. I haven't picked it up yet, but I can tell that it's not a hammered coin. Right then. Oh yes, this looks nice. Get this lump of dirt off. Oh yes, now this is even better. At first I thought it was a George. Yes, now that's a Gullielmus, of course, which is a William III, and I believe it's what they call it, is it a silver crown? So that's brilliant. I can see a date up the top here, 1697. That's lovely. I've never had one of these before. It's my first silver Gullielmus, to my knowledge, and it's in really nice condition as well. 1697. Lovely. Let me just very gently give it a little bit of water and we'll have a closer look. That's brilliant. That's a first for me, this one. Back in a moment. Yes, there we go, folks. How about that? That's in very, very good condition. William III, silver crown. You see the date at the top, 1697. That's brilliant. Now, again, I've been over these patches, been over these spots. Yes, the field's been ploughed, cultivated, whatever. It just goes to show that each year new stuff can be dragged to the surface. That's brilliant. Lovely. Anyway, we'll see what comes out next.